Welcome back to J-toyautoworks, where we take a closer look at RC. I'm your host Ryan. In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at some of your wheel and tire options that you can use on your RC car, as well as some of your parts and accessories. We're going to get into it right after this. Alright guys, so what we have in front of us here is a couple different wheel and tire options. We're going to bring the camera in a little closer so we can take a look at what makes some of these a little different, as well as so we can see some of your smaller accessories that go along here. So let's go ahead and bring the camera in so we can get a closer look. Alright, so as we try to identify what type of wheels we have here in terms of what you can use them for, let's go ahead and start separating them just a little bit into, let's just say, rubber and the ABS, the hard plastic. Okay, so once we have these separated, there's a couple of things that you can look out for. Alright, so we have just a few here. These are just a few examples. There's going to be a lot more different types out there in terms of maybe what type of wheel, the design, beveled edges, things like that. So those are things you can keep an eye out for. But just for the start here, let's separate these into your grip, okay, into your drift. So all your ABS plastic tires are going to be easier to drift with. They're going to last longer in terms of on a slick surface. They're going to be able to perform slides, drifts, less friction. And then on your grip side, these are you're going to have the most traction on road surfaces. The car's going to handle a lot better. It's going to do what you need it to do to get around the racetrack or course at your park or at our store. Okay, so that being said, let's take a look at some of the wheel offsets and some of the different designs that go into the wheels. So now that we have our wheels separated into our on-road grip wheels, into our drift wheels, let's take a closer look at some of the differences. You can have difference in styles, designs. Now this does apply to both. So as far as some of your styles goes, you can have different tire tread options. You can have ones that are thicker sidewalls, and you can have some that are thinner. All right. Now, as far as your wheel sizes go, you can have a couple different sizes, whether they be a smaller size like this. This is for something like a Mini Cooper, all right? And then you can have something, you know, a bigger size wheel for more of a full size sort of car. Now, they're still all 1/10 scale, all right? But you can see there's just slightly different options available for different kind of cars that you might be looking for or wanting to drive as far as your bodies go and your car's capability. If it's a smaller size frame, then you might want a smaller size tire. If it's a normal size, or should I say a full size for a 1/10 scale car, then you can have a bigger, more robust wheel, maybe wider, things like that. So the next thing we're going to talk about applies to all your wheels, okay, is something called your offset. Now, if you look in some of the wheels, some of the back of the hubs on the inside of your wheel in that hexagon shape, okay, some of those numbers, first of all, not all of them will have numbers, but just to be clear, if you see a number in there, 3mm, 7mm, 10, 12, that's going to mean how far it's sticking out from the hub, but we're going to use this measurement in terms of how far it sticks out from your car. So if you want your wheel to stick out further, you're going to need a higher millimeter. Okay, 3mm is going to stick in a little bit further, 12mm is going to stick out further. All right, I'll put some stills up so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, there are some differences, like this wheel. This is more of a specialty type. This wheel, you can remove the screws on the backside and you can adjust the offset, 3mm offset. And if I remove the screws, take the face off, flip it around, screw it back in, then it will move over to a 6mm offset. If we put the wheels off to the side here, your wheel hex nuts. Now you can see that these are not all the same thickness as well. You can see, especially there's one tall one here, okay? So 10mm there. We have stuff like your 3mm, 5. So again, this will help play a role in your offset. So if you want your wheel to stick out a little bit further, you can adjust the width by adding a thinner or thicker wheel hex nut, and then you can push your wheel out just a little bit further. Okay. Another important part to these is on the back side. Some of them have lines, some of them have crosses, but whatever the design is, for the most part, if it has a line like these, and like I said, we'll get some more close-ups of these, you're gonna have these pins, these roll pins that hold these on. Now, these roll pins are not specifically a part of your wheel, but I'm bringing this up now because it's something that you're gonna run into whenever you actually decide to remove your wheels and tires. You might run into these falling off, or you might lose them, so you might have to buy a few different ones. I usually keep a little bit of a stock so that I can keep them on hand, because when they disappear, they're really hard to find. They're really tiny. Your wheel will be locked on to all of this by your lug nuts or your axle nuts, okay? Now, what I'll do is I'll separate these real quick. In terms of looks, there are some different options, but the key thing that you're gonna wanna look for, in my personal opinion, is you want the ones with the nylon inserts, okay? Most of your standard ones that come with the vehicle are gonna be like these silver and black ones. All of these are gonna have nylon inserts, so we're kind of set these off to the side here. Now your ones that you buy by yourself, or aftermarket versions, they might not have the nylon, so keep an eye out for that. You can see the gold and red one here have nylon. I'll put a picture up so you can actually see them for yourself, that they do have nylon inserts, and these other ones do not. That's really important as far as keeping the security of your wheels. You don't want your wheels flying off while you're trying to race, or even if you do, you'll probably find the wheel pretty quick, but you might have a hard time finding these little lug nuts here. So just keep that in mind. If it comes off, then you're probably going to be out a lug nut, and if you didn't bring any extra, your wheel's not going to be able to stay on, so you might have to call it a day or purchase some more. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Every view that I get helps me propel the channel and the business further. I'd like everyone to leave a comment down below if they prefer to have the adjustable offset wheels, or even if you knew that that was a thing. Some of these options aren't as common as some other ones, so keep an eye out for some of this stuff. Some of the wider wheels versus skinnier wheels can help various situations, or just the look of your car. So leave a comment down below if this is something that you're into, any of these options, or maybe some of the anodized hardware. And I look forward to seeing you all back in the next video. Thanks for watching.